It is a collection of poems, or poetry collection. Why did I say collection of poems? Eh? It's like I'm about to cry. I'm not going to read the whole book to you because you still have to buy it. Before we get into this, I just like to say that in the previous videos, one or two of them, I talked about working on my book, putting it out eventually. I would like to announce that that has happened while I was gone. Yes, that happened. The only thing is, this book, which is out right now, is not the initial book that I planned to put out as my first work. But all things considered, this just seemed like better content to push out first as like an introduction to who I am as a writer and really what just inspires all of my writing in some way, you know. This is the book. Sorry, I have some things just marked so I don't have trouble finding some important pages that I want to talk about, but this is the book. It's called Spirits Do Not Fear Death. I'm gonna cover my face real quick. That's it right here. It is a collection of poems, or poetry collection. Why did I say collection of poems? It's a poetry collection, and like I said, titled Spirits Do Not Fear Death by Chinomso Eze, which is my full name. The inspiration for this book is my name and what my name means, and just how much I believe in that, and how that has sort of helped me, like propelled me forward in life for good. Like I said, my first name is Chinomso. You know, everybody calls me Chichi, but first name is Chinomso, and it means my God is with me, or my God is near me. So it's very personalized. I think I've told this story in previous videos, but growing up, I didn't really like my name. And as I grew up and sort of grew into my own person, I started to take my name more seriously. Also because my mom, every time something would happen in my life, good or bad, mostly good, she would remind me of my name and literally tell me that my name, she says it in Igbo, but loose translation is my name is following me through life, you know. And for a long time it didn't really mean anything to me, but eventually I started to take it very personally. I started to see how my God was working for me in ways that I honestly couldn't explain and no one could explain. And you know, it has come to mean a lot to me. And so this book is largely inspired by my name and what it means to me, and how that ties into my journey in life so far. It is divided into 3 parts. So part 1 in Igbo is titled na-eri, which loosely translates to English as, you know, water swallows you up. But you know, I called it the drowning because, you know, that makes more sense. I hope you guys can see that. Basically, all of the poems in this first part were written at my lowest in life. It really felt like I had hit rock bottom in a very sad way. Mostly based on my own mistakes, and I'm going to own it. Mostly based on my own mistakes, my own stupidity at the time. While I was waiting for something to change, for things to get better, for me to see a glimmer of hope, you know. All I could do was write. And so the poems in this section are pretty sad because I literally felt like I was drowning. And at the time I couldn't see a way out. So that's part one, na-eri, which means the drowning in English. You move on to part two, which in Igbo it's titled Nke Luogu, which is like to fight or to struggle. And so in English it's titled The Struggle. Now this part two is where I was fighting for my life, guys. It got to a point where I finally realized that nobody's coming to save me. Okay, I put myself in this mess, and so I have to figure out a way to get myself out of the mess. And so it was a do or die affair. I started, I didn't know if I was going to succeed, but I had started to fight. I started to fight for my life. Literally, I was holding on to whatever concept of hope I hoped existed at the time, you know. And so the poems in this part sort of portray that struggle. It was both an internal struggle and like a physical struggle, because internally I'm trying to stop feeling bad about my situation. I'm trying to stop blaming myself, even though I know I was to blame. I was trying to stop blaming myself, stop feeling guilty for putting myself in the mess that I was. And so there was that internal struggle, but also physically, I'm trying to survive, trying to get a job, to hold a job down and take care of myself and get to a point where I can start taking care of my parents. And so it was a struggle, and that is what the second part is about. Now, finally, we have the third part. The third part is in Igbo, it's titled Nupu Isi Ahụ, which a direct translation to English is sort of like when you raise your head up, you know, or when like you're awake, if that makes sense. And so in English it's titled The Awakening. This part, in my opinion, and if you read the book you can decide for yourself, but in my opinion the third part is the most important part of the book, because you don't want to linger in self-pity, you don't want to linger in despair, you don't want to just stay down or even just keep struggling without truly believing that the struggle will pay off. And so this third part is super important, because I had finally started to believe again in myself, in my ability to succeed in life, in my ability to be a better person, not just for myself but for my family as well. It's like I'm about to cry. Wow, I didn't see that coming. On the first page, as my signature, if you can get a copy to me, I promise I'll sign it. So that you don't have to struggle for my signature when I actually become blown. For my name, Chinomso, which means my God is with me. The Chi means God. But in Igbo culture, which is my culture, the concept of Chi is not just about one ultimate God. There is the ultimate God, which we call Chuku or Chineke. But there's also the concept of individual gods or spirit guardians of a sort. And so it's believed that each person has a personal spirit guardian. I have a whole page here explaining all that, but I'm just going to quickly tell you what that means. So the Igbo culture And Igbo is IGBO. Let's not start this IBO nonsense here, please and thank you. Igbo culture, there's a concept that everybody has their own individual chi, their own personal god, personal spirit guardian, and in some cases it's also like a spirit double. And so that there's you in the physical realm, and you have a double in the spiritual realm, or a spirit guardian who's looking out for you in the spirit realm. So as you're walking in the physical realm and you're trying to get things done and trying to have a good life, basically, your chi is in the spirit realm interceding for you. It's like a concept in Christianity. I guess it's like a concept of the Holy Spirit. However, let me not draw a direct link between the two because I haven't really studied that very in-depthly. So let's not go there. I'm just saying, in case you're trying to wrap your head around my explanation, think about it like that. And so, like I said, while you're here in the physical world working, your chi is making sure that things are also in place for you in the spirit realm. And also, it's believed that your chi is responsible for whatever luck you have in the physical realm, good luck, bad luck, anything else, you know. But also, because you're so tightly linked to your chi largely depends on what you want, what you think, what you believe, what you're working on. And so whatever it is that you agree to work on and to be in this world, your chi will be like, okay, I got you, you know, and sort of help you towards that and work towards that goal. The more I understood what that meant, the more connected I began to feel with my chi and just what I understand her to be, right? And also, if you think about the 3 parts in my book, the first part, which is the struggle, there was a complete disconnect from my chi. I didn't feel her presence whatsoever. I didn't feel like anyone was looking out for me or anyone wanted the best for me. I just didn't believe in myself. And so there was that disconnect because my chi cannot do anything if I am not moving, you know, or if I'm not working towards being better or having a better life. My chi, there's not much she can do in the spirit world. And then the second part of my book, which is the struggle, is where I'm finally starting to fight a little bit, and my chi is like, oh, okay, you know, slowly waking up and like watching, like getting ready to help me as I help myself. And by the third part, that connection is restored and I feel the presence of my chi, and I believe that she wants me to succeed just as much as I want myself to succeed. And so with that connection, I'm moving towards my goal, and you know, my life is actually getting better. That is what this book is about, essentially. The concept of a chi, and in this case my chi, and how my chi has been essential in my journey through life, just in what I believe that I can do and how much I can achieve, and just being a better person, you know, and having a better life, whatever that means to you. What was I going to say? I'm going to do a few more videos just based on this book because I really want to go more in depth. I'm not going to read the whole book to you because you still have to buy it. However, I do want to talk about this book a lot more, because whatever else I put out from here on out, this is going to be essential in just understanding me as a person and as a writer. So I really want people to understand why this book is so important to me and to the rest of my career as a writer. I'm still trying to figure out the dynamics of the channel, obviously, but like I said, it will be focused on my career as a creative writer and I will figure out how to do that. I know I will. Anyway, but for now, if you want to purchase a copy of this book, which by the way you should, you totally should, it is available in print, physical copy only for now, but it's available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, eBay, if you're in the UK, Amazon. But yeah, honestly, if you type out the full name of the book and type poetry collection in Google, it will show you where you can get a copy of the book. It is not too expensive. It's not expensive at all, actually. But please, 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 please support my ministry and get yourself a copy of this book. I promise you, you will not regret it. And it doesn't even matter what stage in life you're at. I don't know if you're in part 1 of my book or part 2 or part 3, but I know that we've all struggled, okay? It may not be rock bottom for everybody, but I know we've all struggled, and I just feel like a lot of people should be connecting with this book. Please go get a copy of Spirits Do Not Fear Death by Chinomso Eze poetry collection, and you will not regret it. I will work on an ebook, but for now I want people to hold physical copies in their hands. Okay, so let's do this. Do this for me, please, please, please. And you know what's crazy? I was putting off recording this video again until like a week ago. I got a random comment from a video from 4 years ago that I posted. I got a comment, a new comment, and the person was like, good luck with your book, like I hope everything worked out. And I was like, oh my god, I need to restart this channel and tell them it worked out. So thank you so much to that person. I don't remember the name, but thank you. That person who commented on one of my old videos like a week ago or so, please, thank you so much, because it is because of you that I decided, okay, I need to sit my down and record this video. So thank you so much. But this is the first one of Chi-Chi's Narrative 2.0, and I'm so excited to be back. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video.